push all the right buttons?
Yes, everything is okay here.
Looking good?
We are ready to go, yes.
Ready? All right. It is Monday morning, and we are live from San Francisco. Good morning.
Hey guys, good morning, afternoon, or evening.
Depends where you're tuning in from. My name's Lindsay Monroe, and I work with the social team here at Adobe. And joining me is...
Hi, I'm Damien Borba, Strategic Development Manager, and also focused on XD here at Adobe. And today we have a very special guest.
We do. You guys might be familiar with her, though.
Just a little bit.
Still special, but...
Can you tell us your name and what you do here?
Sure. My name is Elaine Chow, and I'm a product manager on Adobe XD.
Awesome. And I remember you do a lot of things on user voice and Twitter, very active on Twitter.
Yep.
But product management is only one thing that you do, right? You do martial arts and singing and...
I do a little bit of everything.
But everything at a pro level, which is crazy. It's not
Elaine
like basic...
is creative. She is a creative soul.
Yeah. So that's part
with
of
an
why...
engineer's brain. So it's like kind of a perfect combo.
I was going to say that this is part of the reason I love working on Adobe XD, because, you know, the people that we serve are... you know, really my people, because I'm a creative person as well. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, especially in the early days of user voice. I remember Elaine was pretty much all the time there. Remember, like you were merging like the feature requests and the bugs, and she made it like so special. Yeah, so that was a big part of it.
Well, thankfully we scaled, so
it worked out.
Yeah.
So the one thing that you may know if you do follow Elaine on Twitter is she shares these fantastic pro tips. So Elaine, what's your Twitter handle?
At Elaine C. Chow. My last name is spelled C-H-A-O.
We're going to post that link.
Yeah, we'll link to Elaine's Twitter account so you can follow her. So every day she posts a pro tip, pretty much every day. It's not weekends, weekdays. Monday through Friday, every day. There's a pro tip in XD that you can find on Elaine's Twitter account. So I highly encourage you to follow her. So we thought we would do a little pro tips IRL in real life here with Elaine today. So we're going to go through that. We have an exciting contest winner to announce.
In a bit,
We'll talk a little bit more about a contest we launched today as well. And of course, as always, we are here to take your questions. So if you have questions about Adobe XD or
anything,
UX, UI design, or surfing, or anything,
or martial arts.
I can't answer anything about surfing. That's all Damien right there.
I know.
Just jump in the comments and let us know.
So before we start here, like what is it like to be a product manager here at Adobe today? Because I think we went through like from a small group to a bigger group, and can you tell us a little bit of that?
You know, that was a really intense time, and Damien, you know, you were there along for that ride, right? Where we went from a very small team, and we just grew and grew and grew as the demand grew and grew and grew. So it's been exciting. It's also been a little overwhelming because there are a lot of people involved at this point in time, and so. You know, with so many people, like, it's kind of funny, we're like, so many people holding hands. It requires a lot more, you know, I think everyone who's out there designing understands that, like, really it's all about relationship, and it's all about kind of like how you communicate with other people. And so the more people are involved, the more communication you need to do. So
it's so true. So
it's definitely
crazy ride, but fun, right?
Oh, it's totally fun, and you know, we get to work with some of the best people in the industry, and so this is, you know, it's really a privilege to work on Adobe XD.
It's so fun, and it's like I think it's the first time that Adobe really gets personal. Like everyone is involved on Twitter. We're answering questions, and from like a designer to a developer to a VP, right? Everyone is involved, and this is, I think, a great opportunity for you guys to really help us build XD. So if you have questions, suggestions, please let us know. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I'd say like probably unprecedented amount of access. You know, when your senior director is answering tweets on
before everyone.
Yeah,
before everyone
gets on there, before our team does. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
All right, so tell us about the pro tips. Like, how did it start?
Well, like many things at Adobe XD, it started out as an experiment. So when we first launched Project Comet, we were like, oh, what are we going to do? And when we launched as a product, Experience Design CC, I was like, I'm just going to post a single pro tip and see what happens.
Project Comet was the code name for XD before it was XD.
Right. When we first announced it at Max, we announced it as Project Comet, and when we released as Experience Design CC, and now we're just Adobe XD.
That's what you guys were calling it anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So that was one of those things. I just started and I was like, okay, I'm just going to see what happens after 2 weeks. And the response was so fantastic that I just kept it going. And now, how long has it been? Two years?
Just over 2 years.
Yeah, just over 2 years later. It's going strong, and I'm still getting a lot of people responding to it.
Yeah, so. It's really small, really quick, and you can get a lot of value. Just follow her. You see, this is really helpful. You can really... you can convert you into a power user, right? Because they're
into
very little
kind of
special tricks.
Yeah,
I know.
But yeah, everything from keyboard shortcuts to kind of like how we approach selection, and that's something that I'll talk about today too. So
and some like hidden things too, that like special shortcuts that give you more power. So very, very useful. Cool. So can we see some? Like, let me share your screen now, and
into the XD.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so one of the things that came up recently, someone was like, hey, I have these fonts that are missing, and this is a very typical thing that you'll see, where when you open a file, you have some missing fonts, but even after you've gone through and changed all the fonts.
Can you
can I
shrink
scroll?
shrink your window just a little bit, like here, up.
Okay, I can do this.
Yes, awesome. There we go.
You guys can see those missing fonts.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We
that
used
little
to call
blue
it
bar.
not a pancake.
It's a toast.
Yeah, a toast.
So we call it a toast.
Some breakfast food. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's all food.
It's a waffle.
So when you first have missing fonts, you see this little toast, and it'll show you, oh, here are my missing fonts, and I can copy to clipboard. But even after you think you resolved it, sometimes you still get it. And people ask, how come? I'm still getting this. And I'm like, well, you have a font hiding out there somewhere. And so people will ask, oh, well, where can I find this? And so one really cool thing that you can do is, if we look at Acumen Pro, is you can select all and add to a character style.
Command A.
Yeah, that's Command A or Control A if you're on a Windows machine. And then add it to your character styles, and you'll be able to find it there. Now, one relatively new feature that we have is if you highlight it and right-click, you can actually highlight on canvas. And so it'll show you exactly where this font is used on canvas. So this is actually a really great way to find out where that missing font is, right? Just by using that feature. So super powerful.
That's great.
So that's one of the pro tips.
I will also throw out, so the trick that Elaine just showed there, people are always surprised when you realize you can literally select everything on your artboards and then click that plus button. I mean, that applies to more than just character styles. You can hit that plus button for colors as well. And symbols as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to create one giant symbol, but you generally
don't
want to.
But really help you. But yes, but the character styles and colors in particular can be a useful function.
Right.
Yeah.
And it also helps a lot where you can see like where you're using all of these things. So you have like a semi-bold 22. Yeah. Anyway, so there are things that you can look to sort of pre-flight your.
The assets panel is really, really powerful. It's where all the design system, I think, will go. And if you need to manage your project globally, colors, character styles, it's so helpful.
I love this. I mean, I love it.
Can you also screen, like, I think...
Oh, is it kind of off right here? Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Before we jump into your next pro tip, we do have a couple questions coming through that I think we should address.
Sure.
So, Lucas was wondering when we're going to have some more advanced type options in XD. So things like justifiable text, columns, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also, hello from Germany.
Hi.
Hi to you in Germany. Yes.
Yeah, so type styles are something that we're really interested in doing. I don't have timing to share. We generally don't share exactly when things are going on, but typography is something that we pay very close attention to.
And I think the best way to be notified and learn about the progress is going to User Voice, so adobeXD.uservoice.com,
exactly.
And vote on the features that you want, and if it's not there, create one. then every time there's a new update for text, for example, the product manager will go there, update the label, the status, and then you'll be notified via email. So
yeah, and we posted a link in the comments to where you can go and do that on User Voice. Another question was around where we're at with animation and prototyping.
Yeah, I think you're going to be able to see something relatively soon.
If you
and on that note, when is our next update?
Our next update is happening this month. So
we're pretty much say that every month. So.
Our June update is happening this month.
That's the greatest answer.
But if you were interested, Andrew Shorten has posted some sneaks of what is coming up in terms of additional animations, so check out his tweets on I think we've actually tweeted from at Adobe XD these sneaks as well. So we're very excited about that, those couple of features that are coming out soon.
And he posted about overlays, fixed elements.
Yeah, those are the two.
Yeah, and that was the one for me. Yeah, cool.
Finally, we have a question from Serge. My remedial French skills tell me that he's asking why we don't do these videos in French, but mon français est terrible. So that is why this Canadian doesn't, but appreciate your interest.
I can only do Portuguese because I'm from Brazil, and I'll take very little of Spanish. You can do maybe...
I speak Portuñol, so it's like a mixture, so no one's happy, right?
Yeah, but
people speaking Portuguese, they're like, oh, you're terrible. People speaking in Spanish are like, oh, you're terrible. And so, no.
Yeah, but I think if we really want some content in French, we can find... The XD team is so different, right? Like, we have people from all over the world, and if you want, I think we have some... Yeah, we have people from France.
Yeah, we have a couple of people from France.
Yeah, let's make it happen. I'm not going to understand a word, but yeah.
It's okay.
Let's make it happen.
And also reach out to at Adobe FR, which is the French at Adobe, and ask them, because I think there are people who are streaming from Paris, and so we can probably arrange for something to happen.
And depending where you are, like Adobe Canada too will also do some French content.
Cool.
All right.
What's
next
the next pro tip?
Oh, next pro tip. Okay, so what do I have here?
We totally sidetracked her.
I know, because I was talking about this because I love this thing in the assets panel where you can change colors globally. But that was not my next one. My next one was actually had to do with, let's do Adobe XD, or what's the name of this stream again? Adobe XD
Weekly.
Oh, Adobe XD Weekly. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to use this beautiful font that it's actually one of Paul Tranny's favorite fonts.
Oh, it's very nice.
Yeah,
very mod.
It is. Yeah,
it's like the Get Down from Netflix. Like that sort of 70s. I don't know. Anyway.
So one of the things that I really like about this font is the fact that it has so many curves. So you take a look at all of these curves. One area that people ask us about is, well, how do you edit a path, right? How is it that you edit things like rectangles and ellipses, etc.? And we're like, oh, okay, you can double click and it'll convert to a path over here. And then if you add any points, it'll permanently convert it to a path. So if you accidentally click on it and then escape out of it, it doesn't convert to a path, but only if you add points to it. So you can see I've already added points to it. Now it's a path permanently.
Very useful.
Also a house like Pac-Man.
I know. There we go. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
There we go. Thank
okay.
You. Perfect.
So you can actually do the same thing with text, but you can't double click into it. And so we have something called Convert to Path. And Convert to Path is in the Object menu. If you are on Windows, that is on your Context menu. And so, because we don't have an Object menu there. Or you can use Command 8 or Control 8 if you're on Windows. So Command 8 will convert that to a path. And so now when you click on it, you can see every single curve is represented there in your text. So if you have any changes that you need to make, or if you need to, for some reason, like put that down into a path, convert to path, that's something that people in Illustrator do as well, right? Is that you go from text and then like flatten into a path. You can do that very easily in XD as well. So you can see, oh, this is so amazing. So if you needed to make any small changes, like so, your branding, etc., that's all available for you right there. Cool. So that's another really, really fun pro tip that I
love. To add anchor points, like she just saw a show there, if you don't need to switch to a separate pen tool mode, right? It's just the same pen tool. You just hover the edge, and then you can add anchor points.
Exactly.
What's the name of this font, by the way?
This is Lust Script.
Lust Script. Is it a Typekit font?
It is a Typekit font. It is available on Typekit. So, yes.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
It's like a legible script, which is such a rarity.
Yeah, I'm sure that, Paul Trani can go on about this for a while. But if you take a look at his designs, you'll see a lot of less script there.
Cool.
Cool. Okay, so I have one more, which I think is just take any one of these. And so if you take a look at our layers panel, you'll see that there's a group in here, right? And the group has a lot of things in it. Actually, let me make sure. Oh, I'm on the pasteboard. Let me select something over here. So here I go. I have this group over here, and it has lots of different groups inside of it. And so if I take a look at this and I'm pressing escape, I'm going to pop up a little bit. But the question that people come to us is like, how come you don't have a separate direct select tool? And we have a direct select ability. We just don't have a separate tool for it. And so to enable that, you can press Command, hold down Command as you're clicking, and you'll select that individual object right inside of that group.
Oh, wow.
It's so useful. You have like groups inside groups inside groups inside groups.
Exactly. You don't have to like double click to enter that group all the time. And if you're on Windows, then that's Control. You hold down Control and then you do that same thing. So that is direct selection. Dig straight into that group within a group within a group.
Wonderful.
For that object. Yeah.
Very useful.
Yeah.
Super useful. It's something that I use every day.
Yeah.
So we did have another question come through about when can we expect responsive layouts?
So we are working on responsive in a couple of different ways. I can't talk very much about it, but it is something that we are exploring really, really heavily. So go to that responsive. There we have a story and user voice. Let us know what you want out of responsive, because there are lots of different ways to approach it.
Yes.
So, yeah.
If you guys want, we can get the product manager responsible for that feature here to talk about it in the next stream.
Yes, we should.
Just let us know. Cool. Awesome. What do we have next?
Well, I have a lot of other stuff on my list.
How many pro tips do you have? Like, do you count?
No. Okay. I mean, I have 2 years worth of them.
I know,
right?
yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I do recycle occasionally, about like every 6 to 8 months or so. So if you're watching for a really long time, you'll be like, oh, I've seen that one. I do record
good
different ones
though. Like
I figure every 6 months is 6 to 8 months is good. I do record new ones every time, because I don't actually recycle the animated GIFs.
Well, the products change so much,
right?
You can write a book very soon with just that.
With just pro tips. I don't know. Maybe just a bathroom meeting or something.
Yeah,
because each one is so small,
perfect,
right?
For Twitter, it's like you really nailed it.
Well, with the animated GIF, right? Like you see a little video, you see a little something that'll help you immediately.
Yes.
Right, and it was something static like a book.
So easy to digest. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
All right. So, any more pro tips for us today?
No, I mean, I have a ton. I have one going out actually 2 minutes ago, so I know.
Look out for that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah, so we have, we also have a contest happening, right?
Yeah. Well, why don't we wrap up our last contest? We have a winner to announce.
Okay.
So are we ready?
So what was the contest? We asked people to design a homepage using the fashion editorial UI kit.
Yeah, by Xenia. It's Rinzuk, I think is how you pronounce her last name. She's a really talented designer. For those of you who are active on Dribbble, you're probably familiar with her like really stunning editorial like designs. So she created a robust UI kit, which we released for free to the community in May. And you can use it to create there's e-commerce elements throughout. I think when she was doing the project, she was really thinking about, if I were to create a store for a designer with supporting content, like blog content, this is what it might look like. So if you're looking to create like a really modern sort of e-commerce like store project, you might want to dig into the UI kit. I mean, you should anyways. The photography in it is amazing too. She did all of the photos herself. Oh, wow. Like she set up the whole photo shoot and everything. So definitely a multifaceted creator.
Yeah, we have a lot of UI kits out there, right?
Yeah.
You can go to File, get UI kits, more UI kits, and you find something, and then you have a lot more options with our social channels.
And we're working on a more elegant solution for that. But
what was the prize for the winner?
We were giving away a 13-inch MacBook Pro with Touch Bar and Touch ID, the nice one, the fancy one, as well as 1 year subscription to Creative Cloud.
That is amazing. Yeah. All right, so let's see who won. All
right, and the winner is Marco
M. Wright.
It's like
at Marco M. Wright.
Nice.
Congrats, you just
Marco.
got a brand new computer in 1 year of CC, all apps.
That's amazing.
All apps,
We will be in touch on Twitter, and we'll figure it out from there.
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
But that's not it. We did launch another design challenge today. Same prize, new laptop, Year of Creative Cloud. We're doing something different this time.
Ooh.
There's 2 ways to enter, which means twice as many prizes.
Ooh.
So we are, for those who follow us on Twitter, we are giving away a laptop in Year of Creative Cloud for any submissions we find in there. But we're also taking rebounds to a shot on Dribbble. For those who've been watching our announcements, we launched a brand new Dribbble account on May 15th. It features like the members of the XD design team and their work. But yeah, we've posted a shot on there. Rebound our shot, you'll get an entry to win as well. So
look at that.
2 ways to win.
Yeah, so easy. So just participate. Yeah.
We'll post a link to both the tweet with full details as well as the Dribbble post with
and the
full
contest
details.
is we're asking people to design a splash screen.
Oh yeah, I should talk about what the contest
using
is.
the Art Deco icon set.
Yeah, it's Illumi is the name of the icon set. It was created by Creative Mints. His name's Mike, but he really just goes by Creative Mints online. You guys have probably seen some of his beautiful design work. So he released an icon set. Well, we worked with him to release a free icon set for you guys in the Art Deco sort of vein. When he was working through designing the set, he was like, I want something that's really gives the creative free reign to take flight, if you will.
So a great place to start is what you're
Great place to start. Yeah. But it's also, the icons aren't your everyday sort of
it's very fancy.
It's really they're more inspirational than anything. So we're hoping to see what you guys create with them. We're only asking you to come up with a splash screen, so you could think about how it could be leveraged as a logo or tweaked to create something different. Yeah.
It is so easy to be a UI designer nowadays, like UX designer. You have so many resources. I remember the old days we had to design everything in Photoshop and Illustrator. Now you have so much out there to help you. And if you need more specific UI kits, or if you want to create one, we have people from the community creating UI kits that we shared, right? Like
we've released something like 15 UI resources this year so far.
That's crazy.
That's a combination of predominantly UI kits and then probably half a dozen icon sets.
Yeah, if you create one, let us know.
Amazing designers.
Yeah.
You'd be really lucky to work with these folks.
Yeah. Awesome.
There's also a lot of learn content out there, what you were talking about, right? Like Paul Tranny has some videos out, and I know that Terry White released some, and then we have others from community members as well, right?
Yeah. And then there's this, right? And we just taught you a whole bunch of stuff.
And we have a live stream this week, right? Focus on UX again, you think?
No.
Is
it this week?
No.
The next week? Callie was telling me.
Oh, wait, it is this week. What am I talking about? So you guys, if you're following...
Is it?
Yeah, we do have a live stream this week. We are doing twice a month.
Oh, twice a month.
We are doing live streams. So 3
We have live streams every day.
Yeah,
every day,
so we do have every day. Yeah, because us on Monday, then like 3 days with Adobe Live. You can head on over. We'll post a link to where you can find all of the live streams. That starts tomorrow morning, and it runs from, I think it's 9 to 5. Oh. Normally it's 9 to 5, but I think they bumped it to 9:30 now.
Okay.
But it's okay. We'll post full details so you guys can figure it out and not rely on my poor memory.
And we have an awesome live stream on Friday with the design team, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's hosted by
and the
Talon
design
Wadsworth.
team. Yeah. They're doing great. They're sharing how we design and validate products here. So great opportunity to know about how we do it.
Yeah.
And we also have creative gems. There'll be creative gems all over the place.
We're doing a few things, guys.
And you went to New Orleans, right?
Yeah, I was in New Orleans
a
couple of weeks ago. It was amazing. You know, we combine that with agency visits, so we get a chance to visit people in their companies and hear about how they're doing work. But the creative jams, it's like a design charrette where you sit there for 3 hours and watch people work. It's super intense. But, you know, the teams of 2 are doing just amazing design work based off of a theme.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I would say it's a hackathon for designers.
Yeah,
creatives.
It is. Yeah.
So much fun.
If it's in your city, you should definitely sign up. So I think San Francisco's coming soon,
San
right?
Francisco, San Diego. We have Mountain View.
We're going to San Diego at the end of the month, so you guys are tuning in from there. Come meet us.
There's a lot of Create a Jam. So if you want one, you can ping us. We can see if we can organize and get there. You can also go to Adobe Creative Jams to find out about where you can sign up. And it's a contest, but it's also like we have 3 talks, inspirational talks, and there's a lot of good information there, and amazing food and amazing drinks.
Yes. we do put on a good show.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's all we have for today.
All right. If you guys, and we'll be back next Monday.
Yes,
we can at least say that much. It may just be Damien. It may be both of us. You never know, but tune in either way. If you liked what you saw today, give us a like or a share, and or both. Both would be preferred.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll see you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Elaine.